Hey, this is Mark from DetourSUSA.com. You're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
xjtalk.com. It's where you go when you're not off-road.
This is Brian Myers from JC Off-Road, and I just been overhauled. You're listening to XJ Talk Show.
Looking this is Tanya Francine with the National Weather Service Skywarn program, reminding you to keep an eye to the sky and listen to the XJ Talk Show.
Welcome to the XG Talk Show pre-show, and we're messing around with some controls here and making sure everything's going to be right and ready for the show. Right as rain, as one might say, if you rewatched the Matrix movies like I did last weekend. That's been several days ago. Hey, and Josh is with us, and already starting to get sweaty.
I just got a little shine here on the old dome. Just finishing up last little bit of touches on our show notes for tonight's show.
So I think I have everything in there. I believe, I put in the show notes about the Jeep tips, and that one's back from February that I think we have not played. Certainly, even if we have, it's been a while since it was played.
Yeah.
I need to get with Steve and give him a poke, and I don't mean a Facebook poke. Get him, give us some more Jeep tips. I think he's waiting for me to call him. He wants to record them online. Wants me to record them.
You know, I might be able to have an assist with that because I can do that through Skype.
Oh, and to any that are watching live, we do have the call-in number up on the screen if you would like to call in prior to the show starting. We'll be shutting that down here pretty soon, so if you want to call in, you need to do it quick. And when I say shut it down, we're just going to take it off of all chat mode and put it back into the normal call-in mode so that when you call in, you have to wait for us to pick up the call. Right now, you call in, you can just start talking. If you're not seeing that number, or you're listening to the listening or watching the recorded show, you might want to jot this number down for next time. That way you don't have to do a mild panic looking for it. It's 267-507-0240, and then you'll need to put in a code after that, a 6-digit code, 219835. So 267-507-0240, then 219835. And I think I put in there about the flag case that came in. I just need to grab a picture of it here real quick so that I can display it on the screen for our viewers. Very nice case. I did take the Wrangler segment open, the little place marker, I guess you'd say, for it. I took that out. We don't have one.
That's fine. Sorry, I'm just reading the show notes and comment that you left in there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's some good stuff here on the Amazon You Bought What?
Yeah, it really is. It's only 12 days into the month, and I think we're at $77. So that few cents per purchase really goes a long way. There's a couple of big items in there that I think made the difference.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to highlight those.
So YouTube never did come back with anything on the usage of taps that there were 2 claims against. I think that must be people out of the. Yeah, I think there must be people out of the country that just put claims on everything. And we're getting some echo.
From me or from you or from which side?
It's very slight. It's usually indicative of a Skype issue.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to check the audio. Yeah, my audio's fine. I saw a neat little feature in on the sounds. On the sound devices, that whenever you get a phone call, which I would assume is something that Windows knows as a phone call, Skype I guess would be included in that. It will you can selectively choose to mute all sounds so that all you have is the phone call, or if you're playing or lower the volume on other sounds. So whenever I called you back, it dropped the music volume down to about 20%, and I was digging around trying to figure out how to put that back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's why I was saying my volume looks okay. It didn't look like it dropped my volume.
You didn't have that issue last week, though, did you?
Nah, I didn't turn it on last week.
Okay.
All right, now I'm trying to figure out how to change the aspect ratio on this picture because it makes the little case look funny. Here we go. Good Lord, it's not that one. Oh well, they'll be able to see it.
You got the opener, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Richard Goatman Gautier with Team Naxja Petty Cash Racing, racing the 4643 Jeep Cherokee and Ultra 4, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
System sounds.
Yeah, I was trying to adjust the because I still don't think the sound's back up where it's supposed to be. Windows 7 is kind of smart. It allows you to adjust individual program sounds. Here's the problem. It dropped the sound bite. Hang on. That's what it was. The little program that we used to play the sounds, it dropped the volume on it. Now it looks like I might have it up a little too high. Yeah, it's about right. Man, don't let anything automatically adjust your volumes.
No, sir.
That's a lesson in life, kids. Okay, so I'm going to drop the call-in numbers, and I'm going to mute the thing technical description. Everyone is now muted. All right, so you got anything to discuss? Because I think we can actually get started on time. If not,
no, I think we're good to go. Everything's in the show notes, so we should be. Oh, real quick, did you see my latest post on Google Plus?
I don't think so. When did you do it?
This afternoon.
No, I didn't see it.
It's it's kind of reminded me of it when you said adjusting levels. I laughed hysterically the first time I saw it, only because I'm a DJ, 2, I have a lot of studio equipment, and 3, I'm a kind of a nerd, and it kind of blended into all of that. It was perfect.
Oh, I'll have to have a look. Hey, I'd like to take the. I was going to talk to you about this, but we just hadn't had a chance to talk over the week. I'd like to take the Audible read. If it's not going to be too much trouble for you, I know you kind of get into the groove of things. I was going to suggest we take the Audible read out of there and move it down, like perhaps after the.
You're talking about the first Audible read?
Yes.
Or the second one?
Oh,
okay.
First one. And move it down below the Jeep, This Week in Jeep.
Okay.
What I think I'll do is I'll do the what I forgot to do last week was do the promos and drops and the Tap Talk promo, and that'll give you time to get set up for the read.
Okay.
Just put it after the right there.
Yep. Right there.
Just what she said.
I've got an extra page break in there. Okay. All right. I think we're good.
Okay. I'm going to turn on the hot light, and I'll be right back.
All right.
It's so funny, this camera webcam that I have, it refocuses sometimes, and I'll come and sit down and I'm way out of focus. The background and everything looks normal, but I'm way out of focus, and it reminds me of that Clear commercial every time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know if you saw when I first came on, my camera it defaulted to a much closer zoom. And it was all kind of weird and out of focus there for a second. So I was kind of making it try and refocus on different things and get it back into where it should be. And then 30 seconds later, it finally zoomed back out to where it should have been.
Mm-hmm. So we have that same issue that we had last time, where it's the camera has creeped down a little bit, or up, I guess, on your side. So if you go down a little bit with it. There you go. Oh,
how's that? A little more?
Yeah, a little bit back where you were. Try it right there. Yeah, I think that'll do it right there.
Okay.
That's what she said. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Think about what I'm doing, and we're doing that, and we're doing that, and real quick, did you watch any of the show last week while you were at that graduation?
No, I had horrible cell fun reception. It took me an hour and a half just to get there.
Yeah.
I missed all the boring stuff, so that was good.
The people that have twins and triplets are the lucky ones. It's always wonderful to see your children graduate anytime, but it is just a huge pain in the ass. And it wouldn't be that way if there wasn't so many people involved.
The XJ Talk Show is for entertainment purposes only. Any advice or information provided on this show should be verified by alternative sources prior to making any changes or modifications to your vehicle. We are not experts, just people that enjoy the Jeep hobby and don't mind talking endlessly about it. P.S. We love you.
Breaking news to the XJ Talk Show news desk. Fat boy steals 2014 Cherokee and takes cops on a slow-speed pursuit. Reports say he couldn't even get it out of first gear. For the full story, stay tuned till after the show.
Bienvenidos al XJ Talk Show, un podcast acerca de aventuras off-road en Jeep Cherokees y entrevistas con los que manejan y mueven el mundo de las carreras off-road. Ahora, aquí están sus presentadores, Tony y Josh.
Hey, it's episode 133. I am, I wish I was E-Tony. I like that. It's kind of like the iPhone, the iTony. I should start my own company, Josh.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I like the sound of iJosh, but I'm Ye-Josh.
Well, you're the lucky one. Sometimes it's better to be number 2 than number 1. You certainly get noticed more when you're number 2. So we're here tonight to let you guys know about the XJ Talk Show and, of course, xjtalk.com, a forum about Jeep Cherokees. That's what the XJ is. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Jeep has used 2-letter designators from way back when. I guess it happened with the military Jeep, didn't it? I don't know if it was there a 2-letter designator for the military Jeep, or did they just say Jeep?
That's a really good question. I used to know the answer to that. It was actually part of a trivia question at a Jeep show I did last summer, and now I can't for the life of me remember the right answer.
So you don't know if there was or wasn't, or not what it was?
Well, yes, and yes.
Okay, I'll let you off the spot then, because I was thinking we didn't necessarily have to know what it was, but just that there was a 2-letter designator. You know, it was so long ago. I bet you it was a 1-letter designator.
Oh, very well.
It was probably J. Of course, we do know that the scuttlebutt is that Jeep actually came from the old Popeye commercials, cartoons, where the little Jeep would pop in and out. It could go anywhere, and the military personnel started calling it the Jeep, the military vehicle, the Jeep, so because it would pop in and out everywhere. It's a lot of fun vehicle, as you guys are well aware of. If you don't have a Jeep, you should get one before the government bans them.
Good advice.
Hey, this is the XJ Talk Show, a podcast about Jeep Cherokees, off-roading, the tech that you need to get you there and back. We're here to promote the most premier website, the Jeep Cherokee xjtalk.com site, the friendliest and most helpful Jeep site on the web. xjtalk.com encourages and answers all the questions and concerns the first-time Jeep owners typically have without the flaming or criticism, all while giving you the best, most in-depth articles and write-ups for repairs, modifications that take your average XJ to the next level. Now get ready. It's the XJ Talk Show, and it starts right now.
First Week in Jeep.
Well, Chrysler CEO Sergio Marchionne comments on some recent recalls. Just not Chrysler's. Oh, but he's got lots to say, including his premonition that consumers are going to end up paying for the cost of all these recalls. In a recent interview, when asked about recent automotive industry recalls, Marchionne's had this to say about the General Motors ignition switch crisis. Quote,
"If this frequency of recalls becomes a norm for GM, then I think you're going to see the cost being shifted to the consumer.
It will transfer itself over to the price of the vehicle. Oh, thank you for blessing us with such wise words of wisdom, considering this is a practice used in virtually every consumer-based market worldwide. Yet it's also funny that Sergio makes no mention of the recent recalls within his own company, or how the cost of those will be absorbed by Chrysler Fiat Motors, let alone if there will be any impact felt on the price of Chrysler, Jeep, or Fiat's new vehicle sales. Stay tuned. We're going to find out a little bit more about this in shows coming up. And speaking of recalls, just when you thought it was safe to own a Jeep, Chrysler is recalling more than 600,000 Dodge Durango and Grand Cherokees for brake boosters that may prematurely corrode. If this occurs, the diaphragm in the brake booster can perforate and may ingest water when driving during wet weather. Should this occur, braking performance can be compromised if the water inside the brake booster freezes. Then the driver may have to apply additional force to stop the vehicle during sub-freezing driving conditions. Unexpected brake force application requirements could slow the driver's brake application reaction time and cause a crash without warning. Well, duh. Basically, when you expect to stop your Jeep when applying the brake and it doesn't, well, usually bad things are going to happen. So let me break this down for you. The brake booster will become similar to that piece of Swiss cheese on your sandwich that you had for lunch and allow water to mix with the brake fluid, which, for those of you who don't know, brake fluid and water do not play well together, especially when said water freezes. So what is the fix? All involved vehicles in this action must have the brake booster inspected for corrosion. Not exactly a fix, but hey, it's a good start. Brake boosters found with excessive corrosion will be replaced, and the boosters will be fitted with a shield to protect the booster crimp joints from water exposure. So basically what this means is that if your brake booster gets a case of ulcerative colitis, Chrysler is going to replace it, and will give your Jeep a condom and send you on your way. So, is that Grand Cherokee or Dodge Durango in your driveway affected? Well, because this is such a large set of vehicles, it is advised that customers call their local dealerships with their VIN number to determine whether or not the vehicle is involved in the recall. You can call Chrysler even directly at 1-800-247-9763 or the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration at 1-888-327-4236. And make sure you guys reference the recall number P14/NHTSA 14V/154. Hey, if you'd like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, like friend of the show and radio Comtech narrator John Prerunner 1982 did with our first story, or if you have a response to any one of our stories here on This Week in Jeep, or you have a show and shine, off-road show, or other Jeep-related event you'd like to promote, please send an email to newstips@xjtalk.com.
Josh, I'd just like to add, I'm rather proud of this. I've perforated a few diaphragms in my life.
xjtalk.com is where you go when you're not off-road. And now you can go to xjtalk.com when you're off-road too. Using your smartphone, install the Tap a Talk app, then search for XJ Talk. Take XJ Talk with you wherever you go. Jury duty, dinner with your spouse's parents, even, well, anywhere you need your XJ Talk fix.
My favorite site is XJ Talk. xjtalk.com. It's where you go when you're not off-road.
This is Dan from the 4x4 Podcast, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Hey, Jeepers, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or your MP3 player. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/XJTalkShow.
And now it's time to welcome our newest YouTube subscribers.
Well, the list keeps growing every week, guys. I keep saying it every week, and we very much enjoy your guys' subscriptions, and we encourage you guys to tell a friend. If you joined recently, subscribed recently, or sometime in the recent past anyways, you haven't heard your name yet, just hang tight. We'll get to it eventually. We only pick 4 at random out of the list every given week, and, we've got 4 more for you this week. In fact, first on the list, Tony, who's the number 1 on the list tonight?
Midwest Dipper. You know, you said that, and I went, oh, no, this isn't going to be hard to pronounce.
Yeah. We've got one here. It's K3286S or K3286s, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Reminds me of that THX movie that George Lucas did. And then we've got Austin Allmiller. It's like Gold Miller.
Then we've got one. We'll like to go either way, either Bassmaster or Bassmaster 4209.
I'd like Bassmaster. We're at 527, guys. We're going to 1,000. And then we're going to quit. No, we're not.
Amazon.com and the XJ Talk Show present You Bought What?
Well, guys, we have a lot of fun with this. Every other week, we break this segment out for you, and we have a little bit of fun with it. It's called Amazon You Bought What? The XJ Talk Show and Amazon have a great little relationship going on, where Amazon has agreed to, well, give us a little bit of a list of the things that you guys are buying. And how this works is if you go over to xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com, you're going to see an Amazon banner right there on the main page. You click on that, pops you right over to amazon.com, where you can buy anything that you'd like. Anything from Jeep parts to big screen TVs even. And we've seen it before. And Amazon has agreed to, well, give us a small little kickback. It's a great way for you guys to support the XJ Talk Show, your favorite podcast. Helps us keep the lights on here, and, well, we have some fun with the list of things that you guys buy. You're not going to spend a single dime, not a red cent more for anything that you buy, but we get to see the list and, well, have some fun with it. We don't see who's buying anything, so if you guys like to throw us a curveball, and you have definitely done that in the past, well, we have some fun with it. And we've got a great list for you guys this week, and you've certainly been doing a good job about clicking on those Amazon links there on our main page at xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com. And, well, we're going to just go ahead and dive right into this, Tony. We've got all sorts of stuff across a whole bunch of different categories, and I've got some good ones here for you tonight.
Hey, I like the way this starts off, top of the list. I mean, you don't have to read that one. I was just going to mention, you know it's a good list when it starts off with Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one here. Somebody bought a Hanes Men's Classic 5-pack tartan boxer in extra large, plaid even, nonetheless. I saw tartan. First thing I thought it was Spartan boxers. It'd be interesting to see. Well, those are more like a Speedo, I thought, but whatever.
I was thinking it had like a pattern, maybe little swords on there.
Oh, yeah, I saw the plaid, and it kind of threw me off there for a second. Is
tartan a color pattern?
That's a really good question.
That's like one of those women colors, like mauve or something, which is kind of a pink or something.
I'm going to stick with Spartan boxers.
I like that. Well, let's see. I'm sitting here talking, not thinking about what I'm going to read. Oh, here is a Mopar. I'm going to read this. 520-888-08AB upper ball joint. So I don't know what that goes to, but it may go to a Jeep, which we always love seeing Jeep parts bought on here because it's a Jeep show.
Oh, absolutely. And we don't need to go too much in more depth with any more ball joint talk. But
there's complaints now.
Yeah, no, I know. So here's one in the automotive category. Another one here. It's the Kurt Manufacturing 55354 T connector, and I think that's the one. Well, Kurt Manufacturing, they do all the tow hitches and stuff like that. So obviously this is something along the lines of a trailer harness or something along those lines.
So yeah, that makes sense.
But nonetheless, I mean, that's a $30 purchase. We thank you for that.
And, here's some nice stuff. An LED 4-inch round spotlight off-road rack bar lighting, 4x4 trucks, ATV, UTV, Rhino, 12-volt, 2-pack. I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited here. That's really cool, man. It's nothing better to be able to see things, although I've always been a big fan of clocks, wristwatches, and flashlights. So, this is just like a mega flashlight to me.
Well, I really love the LED lighting technology that's coming out lately, especially the off-road stuff. It's bright, it's powerful, it looks awesome, and somebody got one heck of a deal on a 4-inch round LED spotlight. So thank you for that. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. We've got, well, check this out. 500-foot bulk Cat 5 Ethernet cable. It's a pull box, so it's basically one big, huge roll of 500 feet of Cat 5 waterproof outdoor direct burial cable. So somebody is going to be running cable or an Ethernet connection, nonetheless, from the house out to their man cave in the back 40.
Well, you can also use this because this little light bulb went off in my head when it was waterproof outdoor. I can actually use that to hook up a camera, a security camera, on the little utility building in the back and run it under the ground and up to the camera. Now you can do wireless, but anybody that wants to could actually monitor that camera even if you've got a password on it. So why go Wi-Fi when you can go wired? It's going to be faster anyway. So I'm going to be watching that. 500 feet, I could run that over to the neighbor's house.
I was just going to say, a great way to steal cable from your or internet from your neighbor. But no, don't do that. Don't do that.
You know, that's not a bad price for a Cat 5e is good up to a gigabit. So anyway, nerd info. So here's somebody that this is probably for a computer system, maybe a server, CyberPower Intelligent LCD Series UPS, 1,000 volt amps, 600 watts. So AVR mini tower. You know, I wish somebody would sell one of these things in a rack mount, but rack mount tells these companies it's going to be for a business, and they want $500 to $1,000 for it every time. It's such a scam.
You know, I don't have any idea what that stuff is. I know what a UPS is, so I'm guessing this is some kind of a battery backup, but it's a tower mount of some kind or another, I'm guessing.
Mini tower, it stands up next to your computer. If you've got a tower, it stands next to it. Has a little LCD display so you can see how much power draw you have. I've got one on my new PC here.
Very fancy. Well, it looks like somebody has been taking care of their personal health here. Recently, we've got a Kirkland brand signature maximum strength vitamin D3, 2,000 IUs. That's the strength of those. 600 soft gel bottle. They also got a 500 count of the multivitamins to go with that. So somebody is definitely upping their supplements.
You know, it's amazing to me. Pretty much anything you can find, anything you'd want to find, you can find on Amazon. And some things I was surprised people found in our past curveballs that you were alluding to. I did not know that Amazon sold those things. Seriously, I really didn't. It wasn't like National Geographic where you put it away real quick when you're like 8 years old. I did not know that was in there. So here we go with finding anything. A Mach 3 turbo refill cartridge blades. Oh my God, these things are hugely expensive. And you know, I thought there was going to be a lot cheaper. Maybe they are, but $36.90 for a pack of 2. I mean,
yeah, razor blades are getting ridiculous.
This is a scam. I mean, come on.
This is why another reason why I hate shaving is because it just costs so damn much. Well, hey, speaking of high dollar items, man, somebody really dropped a good chunk of change here. This is a $120 purchase, and it's a shop vac, actual real to life shop vac, 6.5 peak horsepower Ultra Pro Series 12-gallon wet or dry vacuum with detachable blower.
Yes.
Nothing like having your blower detachable.
And here's in honor of our ham radio segments. This is a CB-ish. It's a Fire Stick SS174 stainless steel hood trunk channel mount. So somebody's going to be mounting an antenna right there next to the hood. And, you know, the nice thing about that is I don't particularly care for the way that looks, but the nice thing about that is you can keep an eye on your antenna. When you're guiding the nose of that Jeep through treacherous terrain, you can kind of protect your antenna at the same time. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, some people don't really care, but
I like to wrap mine up, Tony.
I'm sorry.
I like to protect my antenna with a good prophylactic.
Well, you know, it would work just fine. Now, finding one that size might be a problem. You may have to roll your own.
Oh boy. Roll your own. I love it. Yeah, no, this was actually an active, semi-active, semi-recent topic over at xjtalk.com. I think I know this is definitely one of our XJ Talk active members that there was a huge discussion about how to mount a CB antenna, where to mount it, all that sort of stuff. And I think I've got the same kind of mount. I don't know if mine's a Fire Stick brand, but it's the same stainless steel hood trunk channel mount that I have my own CB antenna mounted with. So good purchase.
Yep.
Let's see. We've got an 8-cup food processor by Hamilton Beach. This one is in the black variety, and it's just $28, and that's a good brand and something good to have on your counter.
And I think we'll wrap it up here with this shoes. Asics men's split second 9 wrestling shoe, black, white, silver. I wish I knew which one it was. Oh, maybe it's all 3. Size 9. So that was $46. You know, tennis shoes. I understand tennis shoes have been expensive for years, but come on, it shouldn't be that much, especially when they're made over in the third world. But that was $46.68, and irregardless of the price, we appreciate every one of those things that you guys have taken the time to go out there and go to Amazon and purchase from them and giving us our little kickback.
We just found out what you bought.
Oh my God, I just can't believe that made it on the list.
Well, guys, this part of the XJ Talk Show is brought to you by Audible.com. If you like podcasts, and we know you do, you're listening to one of the best ones on the web. There's a good chance you're going to like audiobooks too, especially if you're busy like Tony and I, and you don't have time to read those pesky books. Hey, besides, reading a book in traffic is going to be bad for your health. Believe me, I've tried. You don't want to know how it ends. Audible.com has over 150,000 titles across any imaginable topic, from tech to sci-fi, fiction to fantasy, and yeah, they even got some Jeep stuff too. To get you started, the XJ Talk Show has got your hookup. Just go to audibletrial.com/XJ Talk Show and instantly get one free title of your choice. That's right, anything you want off their website for absolutely free. Who says you can't get something for nothing? It's audibletrial.com/XJ Talk Show.
Yep. I need to get me a book. I've been having trouble getting caught up with all the podcasts. I had my podcast app on my phone was only keeping like 5 shows of all the podcasts. So a lot of them were rolling off before I had a chance to listen to them. So I fixed that, and now I'm kind of far behind. But anyway, hey, it's time for our chit chat section, Josh, and my favorite part of the show, because we get to talk a lot.
Yes, no, and I've got some stuff to talk about. In fact, recently I've told you guys about how I've been neglecting my Jeep lately, and it's no fun, guys. I'm not very proud of it, but I have been making some progress. In fact, I had some stuff, got some good amount of work done, and had some assist with a buddy. And right now, as we speak, my Jeep is over at somebody else's house. It's in his driveway, and he's taking care of some of the welding for me that I've been unable to do successfully because of the voltage of my welder and my inexperience. And he's done me a solid and said, "Yeah, dude, I will help you out and take care of that for you." He's the one who did a lot of the welding on my own Jeep, or on my winch bumper. I've helped him out quite a bit with some other stuff. And for those of you watching the live show right now, you can actually see a picture of my Jeep kind of torn apart over in somebody else's driveway right now, and it's getting worked on. He's helped me out with that welding that I was unable to do.
You're Claritin clear, Josh.
Yeah, Claritin. Yeah, you see that nice in focus camera there? Yeah.
Now it's fine.
He's got some 3/16" plate that we're putting on the frame rail, or the unibody, and remounting that track bar. That track bar mount.
So did you get it over there with the ratchet straps?
Oh boy, no, because let me tell you a story.
You can see it just washing over you, like, oh no.
So in my garage, I had cut the bracket clean off. Now, when I came down off the mountain after this little bit of carnage, it was still held on by just a few tack welds and a little piece of sheet metal. The track bar was there. It really wasn't doing anything. It was like 3/4 float. And so I, ratchet strapped it up there just to kind of keep it so that it wouldn't fall down into the rest of the steering linkage and prevent me from steering altogether. So it was an interesting drive home nonetheless. So when I got here and I cut everything off, started grinding things down, welding holes and stuff like that. So my track bar was sitting on the garage floor. The mount was sitting on the garage floor. There, when I drove it over there, he only lives about maybe 2 or 3 miles from me, so it's not that bad. It's arterial road down in a couple of turns, and
but it's
really
the turns.
not that bad.
That's the turns that would be the problem.
No, in fact, the turns weren't so bad. It definitely takes a lot more turning. Like a good almost 2 full turns to make it around a corner of the steering wheel, but no, that wasn't the problem. Tony, it was the manholes and the potholes and the other little divots and bumps and grooves in the road that I had a horrible time with. Now, as I was coming down from the mountain, I could maintain about a 35 or 45 mile per hour speed, hit a couple of bumps or turtles in the road or, things like that without too much difficulty. But I tell you what, when that track bar was completely removed from the vehicle, I tell you what, it was open season on Death Wobble. And I had to pull the Jeep over several times just to get it there. because I'm doing like 25, 30 miles an hour. Oh no, the pothole, and off to the side of the road I go, and steering wheel going back and forth. Tires are smoking because the axle's moving back and forth underneath the vehicle violently. It was very, very sketchy. And but I got it over there. No problems. I had a few people honk at me, and definitely a lot of people looking in my direction. But there was no fingers and no gunfire. So hey, I probably can't complain too much.
Hey,
but,
do you know you got a problem with your Jeep? It's almost as going to say you got a flat tire.
Yeah, no S, Sherlock. Thanks for pointing that out. So
you are insane.
But no,
I didn't think a Jeep could be driven without a track bar. That is just insane. That is Patrick PRC Jeeper insane.
So I was very cautious. Hazards on the whole time and everything, guys. No. Believe me, you don't want to do this. I only did it because it was mostly downhill. It was seriously just like 2 miles away.
Downhill sounds worse to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. First off, kids, don't try this at home.
Not try this at home, guys. I don't recommend it. Obviously, if you're in an emergency situation, you've got no choice. But that's what vice grips and duct tape and JB Weld and ratchet straps are for. And hopefully you've heard some of our previous Jeep tips about how to do some emergency welding on the trail if you run into that sort of situation. But please, I'm not condoning this sort of behavior. It was just more out of a necessity than anything. You must absolutely have a track bar on your vehicle at all times, hooked up and solid, if you are to drive your Jeep safely anywhere.
And they won't inspect it if it doesn't have one, so don't take it to the inspection with it off just to be funny.
Yeah, right. So but I got it there all in one piece and everything, and we went over the game plan. Probably spent about a half hour kind of going over things, and then I actually popped over there tonight after work before I came home, and we're kind of going over. He had some more prep work done. Had some some Sharpie marks, some sketches done on the unibody of kind of where things are going to be laid out and all that. And we've actually been he's been texting me and going over some things here during the show. He's actually just sent me another picture here. I'm going to put up in awesome 2020 focus here for you guys of him mocking up that track bar mount into position.
What is that thing at the bottom? It looked like a seal for the axle tube. Is it that angle or?
It's probably, well, no, see, let me see if I can bring it back up to the camera here. So, what you're seeing down there is actually the retainer for the coil spring.
Right.
That's the bracket up there. I know this is awesome podcast here for you guys.
What is that right there?
There's the track bar itself.
Oh, okay.
The mount is up there, and up here is the unibody.
Okay. So this is looking from the front back.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is looking at that from the front back, and you can actually, I don't know if it'll come into focus, but you can actually see a little bit of the angle iron that he has chosen to weld on there, 3/16" angle iron welded to the face and the underside of the unibody, which the mount will then be mounted to that. So I'm very excited. I'm very curious to see how this is all going to turn out and everything, and very, very anxious to get it back on the trail for some shakedown.
I can't help but think it's going to drive a lot better with the track bar. So just keeping it on there is going to be your challenge. So are you going to use the crush sleeves that we were talking about, or are you just going with the plate and welding straight to the thing and leaving it empty inside, leaving the beer can empty?
Yeah, just it's leaving the beer can empty for now. I am going to tie one side to the other, with a brace going from the driver's side to the passenger side, the unibody. So there'll be that. It is not quite a crush sleeve, but definitely more of a tie-in to bring the whole system it'll almost be a fully triangulated system when everything's all said and done.
That'll probably take care of it for you. And of course, if you have any more problems with the where it's tied into the unibody, you can always drill it out and put the crush sleeves in there later.
That's right.
Yeah. So
grinding some welds down and going from there. So, so what's going on in the world of Tony? What do you got going on with your own Jeep life?
Well, things are going pretty good. I still have a bit of an oil leak, and I don't know if you remember us talking about the weird smoking of oil in this brand new engine that's less than 2 years old. I think what happened was. There is a sizable difference in the oil level on the stick between starting the Jeep up, backing it out of the garage, and turning it off and checking it, or it being it's sitting for a few hours and checking it. I've kind of learned that what I need to do is let it be, basically the engine be cold and have all the oil trickle back down and check it. So I think what I was doing, since I was checking it after I had injected oil up into the top of the engine, I was putting too much oil in it, because as far as I can tell, I haven't had any more smoking issues. I think the oil level was just getting it too high, and then pushing too much oil up at the top and getting down through the valve seats and burning some oil. But I'm still having a bit of an oil issue. I wind up putting oil in it maybe once every couple of weeks. It'll get more exciting here in a second, Josh. Sorry,
I was just yawning there for a second. Believe me, it's not out of boredom.
No, I understand. I think it's been a busy week for you. It's probably why I couldn't get a hold of you during the week. But anyway, so that's good. Now, one of the big things, the most recent big thing that I told you guys about was whenever I got this flag and this document from Afghanistan. Captain Dan Cole of the 4x4 podcast, who, by the way, is now back home with his family, safe and sound. I mean, I guess if he was living in Detroit, it wouldn't be safe and sound as much as Afghanistan is, but I digress. But anyway, as you remember, I got this, and I think it was actually the day that I received this, I went on Amazon and tried to find me a nice case to put this in. I figured there was one for the flag, but I did not know they had them for the flag and the document and badges that are medals or anything that you may have. So I was real happy to find a case that a nice wood glass enclosed case that I could mount both the document and the flag in. And this came in just a couple of days ago. Now the aspect ratio is wrong. I'll just tell you that right off the top of the there. But so it was really funny because I took a picture of this. I got the flag and the document in there, and the badge that Dan had sent me along with it, the patch, I should say. And I had it, I put up a picture of it, very proud to be able to display this and post it up on Facebook and everywhere. And Dan says, "Hey, you got the patches wrong." And because when he had sent it, it was stuck to the flag because it has Velcro on the back. And it's actually, I thought it was one patch, but it's actually two patches, and it makes sense because you have the one that goes over the top and then the one that goes below it. I believe that's the way he said it was set up. So I actually had to open this thing back up and pull the patches out, set them up the way I think he had described, and I grabbed a little U.S. flag patch that I had bought some time ago and stuck in there and did that. So it is now a great little display. I need to. My wife was saying, just hang it on the wall and with a nail and the little hook, and I said, no. This is pretty heavy. I don't want it to fall. I'm sure the items would be fine, but I didn't want to break the glass and take any risks there. So I'm going to be using molly bolts, or at least one molly bolt, to affix this to the wall. And again, thank you very much, Dan, for thinking of me and taking the time to send this thing all the way from Afghanistan.
Guys, hopefully Tony has this up on the xjtalk.com Facebook page. I know he's got it up on his own personal Google+. It's actually being displayed right now on the YouTube channel that we're broadcasting on. And Tony, that just looks amazing. I mean, the shots that you had when you first got it, with the envelope, the document, the flag, and the badge and everything. I mean, that was very touching and emotional into itself. But seeing this right now fully displayed in all of its glory, and that is a marvelous case, by the way. Just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it is very nice.
And guys, so I'm just going to take just a brief second to describe it here for you. It's a beautiful wood case. It's inset it has wood trim on the inside for both the document as well as the triangular shape for the flag itself. The flag is down on the bottom side. The document is up on the upper side. He's got the U.S. flag to the left and the Mountain Infantry Division badges on the right hand side. Just absolutely beautiful, Tony. Great choice for a case. I don't think you could have picked anything better for that. Just absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, these things were running as high as $300. And I kind of get the feeling that sometimes they do these things because it's an emotional type purchase. So, but I was able to find this one for $80, And I think that's a good chunk of change. But for something that is, the quality is very nice on this thing. The wood has a nice dark color. I know some people like the oak, the lighter oak, but I've always liked the dark woods, the mahoganies, and all that kind of thing. So that works out really well. But very proud to have that in the house, and very unexpected. And I'll remind you guys, it was delivered by the U.S. Postal Service on Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. May I ask where in the house you have it?
Right now, it is sitting on top of a display case that my wife has all her little knick-knack, trinket, glass, blah, 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 precious moments, you name it type thing. And okay. I'm not quite sure. I think I may have mentioned I was planning on putting it here in the my home office so I could look at it whenever I wanted to. Maybe over here next to the rack of guns. But my wife and oldest daughter were so excited about it, and they were talking about where they were going to put it. I'll probably just defer to where they want to put it, unless it's someplace too low, because they're all shorter than me.
No.
And actually, I don't want any munchkins grabbing the damn thing either. So.
Oh, no, definitely. Well, thanks again, Tony, for sharing that, and big thanks again to Dan Cole for shipping that out. Just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned or not, but Dan Cole, the 4x4 podcast. If you don't listen to that podcast, you should. Dan recently, we recently played a past interview with Dan, and we put that as one of our rebroadcast midweek fixes. And Dan was a good guy, and he actually put that same link up on the 4x4 podcast. And
cool.
We had the most downloads we have ever had because Dan put that up on his site. I mean, it was a lot of downloads, and we really appreciate that.
Oh, very good. Well, thanks again, Dan.
So, anywho, Jeep-wise, I guess I'm doing pretty good. I need to put I still need to put well, I haven't done the onboard air system yet. Some other things have come up, and man, it always seems like there's something that somebody wants to do on the weekend that doesn't correspond with going out there and spending hours underneath the Jeep, which when you think about it, that's not so bad, but it's nice to be done and have it working. And have that air horn, that 120 decibel air horn, to say,
oh, man. I cannot wait for the demos and the videos to start rolling in with you with a dash cam and 120 decibel air horn. I'm sorry, folks. This is just going to be comedy gold. That's going to be spewing forth from the xjtalk.com YouTube channel here. As soon as Tony actually gets that installed, it's going to be epic.
Well, I have to get the cam, the dash cam on the back of the Jeep too, so that whenever I get pulled over for using
you see the finger going up.
Well, no, when I get pulled over by the cop, you'll be able to see the cop coming up, and then the audio of him saying,
shaking his head, "No, you can't do that, sir."
The cop walking up to the side and going, "Hey, nice Jeep." Is that your website on the side? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Here you go. No, anyway.
Here's your ticket.
No. Actually, I think I mentioned this on several episodes back. It was probably three or so years ago. I got pulled over for doing 20 over. And the guy was cool. He talked to me for a good 30 minutes about the Jeep. And then the last 5 minutes was talking about what he was going to write me up for in a warning ticket. He says, because I can't give you a warning for the speed because my sergeant would want to know why I didn't give you a ticket. So, yeah, he was an ex-Cherokee owner. So I told him, I said,
oh, well, that's kind of cool.
I told him, I said, man, you should never have gotten rid of that. He goes, I know. But anyway. So anyway, let's get to our voicemail. It's always fun, and true to his nature, Nikki G has give us a couple of great voicemails. Now, it was a little muffled to me, so you guys might have to pay close attention to what Nikki's saying here.
Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey, this is Mickey D. And hats off to Zach for being the first one to bite the bullet and get in a new Cherokee. Way to take one for the team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Listening to some old episodes, how is that Jeep related? Because it is a Jeep podcast. And it finally dawned on me. It's not saying gobble, gobble, gobble. It's saying wobble, 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 which everybody who owns a Jeep knows what death wobble is. So, keeping the turkey theme, I'm no longer going to refer to Josh's steering system as a one-ton over-the-knuckle steering system. I want to call it the one-tom over-the-giblet steering, long drumstick suspension later. All right, I'll talk to you later. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Very good, Nikki. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's very aptly named for everything I've been having to go through with that. So, yeah, nicely done.
Nikki sounded tired. He might need to remove the aluminum foil hat and recharge a bit.
Mm.
Hey guys, this is K2. I was just wondering, I was thinking about taking the doors off my 99 Cherokee. I was just wondering, is that just a myth that if you take the doors off of it, the unibody will fold in half? I was just wondering how easy or hard that job would be, and if it would be okay to do that, when the weather's really hot or not. But looking for some tips. Keep up the good work. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, I think they call that taco. I've made a few comments on Facebook pictures where people doing things, usually jumps. It's like, oh, taco, I love ye.
No, the unibody of the Jeeps are actually fairly strong, and they're meant to flex and bend and stuff a little bit. Now, taking the doors off is not going to fold. Now, despite popular belief, a four-door Cherokee is actually stronger than a two-door Cherokee, and that's because you have an extra pillar in there. And by pillar, I mean it's the separation between the door and the windshield, or the front door and the back door, or the et cetera, et cetera. So you have an A, B, C, and D pillar in a four-door Jeep Cherokee. In a two-door, well, you've only got the one by the windshield, the one behind the front door, and the one in the very back, A, B, and C. And so with an extra pillar in a four-door, the Jeep is actually stronger than a two-door model. So taking the doors off on your 99 is not going to be a big deal. It's not going to fold. It's not going to fold like a taco, so to speak. Now, with the newer Cherokees, the late model Cherokees, it is a little bit more difficult because of the hinge pins and the regular and stuff with the door. Not to mention if you've got a limited or a sport or something like that, you got power windows and power locks and things like that. There's a lot more involved with it than popping the doors off on an earlier model Cherokee. So just keep that in mind when you're going about it. It can be done, and just remember, it never quite goes back exactly the same way. So if you're going to go doorless, it's one of those things where, well, it's going to be one of those semi-permanent things, and it's never going to quite act the same. Your doors aren't going to close exactly the same. There might be a little bit of a rattle, things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're going doorless on a late model Cherokee.
Have you considered doing the hinge modification so you could take your doors off, Josh?
I've thought about that. I like having, power windows and power locks and speakers and things like that. I like having my door seal. I live here in the Pacific Northwest. It rains an awful lot, and having that door not quite sealing or seating 100% properly is just something that kind of worries me a little bit. So believe me, I would love to go doorless. But really, there's only about 2 months out of the year that I could get away with it, and even then, I would still have to put the doors back on every now and again. So the thoughts cross my mind, but not yet.
Right. Well, especially since it's not your daily driver. I thought that that might happen. Well, anyway, here is our next Nikki G voicemail.
Hey, this is Mickey G, and I just caught most of the show last night, and my jokes got all cut up and interrupted. Curses to use Sprint, providing crappy service. So I'll repeat it again. What I wanted to say was, I had an incident when I went at Walmart. So it actually is pretty funny. The reason why I want to call in this week is I love the show, but I'm still kind of disappointed in the bigotry that goes on at the staff of XJ Talk. And most common talk about is the promotion of ham radio. What about all the Jewish people out there who are forbidden from ham and any other part of the most delicious animal ever made? Can you guys promote, just to be fair, maybe something like a nice lean mutton radio, or maybe a pastrami radio? Just food for thought. Oh, who's the CEO over there? Mel Gibson? Gotta throw that in there. All right, guys, I'll catch you. Yeah, well, bye.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. Did you know the beautiful thing of that voicemail is that how he emulated a bad signal on the cell phone where he was doing the chopping. That's hard to do. But the downside to that is now his lovely wife Wendy, I believe, now knows that he has that ability, and all the times that he's been wanting to get off the phone when she was talking about why didn't you take out the garbage, or why didn't you flush the toilet twice, and all that stuff, she now knows that probably wasn't a Sprint cell phone problem.
Yeah, he's letting the cat out the bag. Well, guys, if you'd like to join in on the fun, leave us a voicemail just like these guys did. K2 and Nikki G, always coming through. Nikki G, thank you very much for that. Give our 24/7 voicemail line a call, 530-675-4102. And you got about 3 minutes to pretty much say whatever you want.
Josh, do you have any medical friends or access to any medical devices?
I cannot confirm nor deny that I may or may not.
You know those little electrodes that they put on your head and stuff?
Yes.
I think that if you could get some of those, it'd be a great gag for when we play the Josh's Subconscious. Because you just stick it to the thing, and you could wet it first on your tongue.
Yeah,
stick it.
Pop it up there on either side, on the temples or whatever.
You know what? What would work out better is get one of those rubber suction guns, if they still sell them. I mean, guns are like outlawed everywhere, and just tie some wire onto the rubber suctions and stick that under your head like it's. Anyway, we have a Josh's Subconscious.
Oh boy!
And now another message from Josh's Subconscious. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, I can't believe somebody on Twitter wants to take out Josh's Subconscious. It's so exciting. I don't get asked out on dates very often. Just let me know when so I can get my hair and my nails done. It'll be fabulous. Oh, and I guess I can take my Panhard bar with us so we can play with it. And I guarantee you it'll last longer than 20 minutes. Oh well, gotta go. Toodaloo.
If you guys didn't get that, that was a commentary on Tim UK Jeepers remarks that he made on Twitter that we talked about on last show.
Well, that's good stuff right there. Oh boy, I always love the Josh's Subconsciouses. Those are a lot of fun.
Your Jeep loves you when it rolls over and wants you to pet it on its Panhard bar. Thank you. Oh, that's so good. I don't know why that leg's doing that, but keep doing it. Yes, yes, indeedy.
That's funny. The guy who's doing the welding on my Jeep has named his Jeep Red Rocket. Just saying.
Well, the chicks will dig it. Hey, so now let's talk about our reviews on Stitcher and iTunes. Josh, can you read it for me?
Yeah. Okay, guys. The list is it's not there because we don't have any reviews or anything like that from Stitcher or iTunes. You guys are slacking. Come on now. You got to get on the horn with your friends. Tell them, hey, I know you're listening to the show. Go ahead and just leave that 5-star review right now. I'll wait for you. It's okay. And yeah, make sure you leave a comment as well. Guys, we love the feedback. Like we said, negative or positive, as we demonstrated in episode 132 with some constructive criticism that we got from another one of our listeners. We take whatever we can get, guys, whether it be a 5-star review, a 4-star review, positive or negative or constructive criticism. Any case, please leave a comment on Stitcher or on iTunes. And, those 5-star reviews definitely do help.
And I want to say that we really, really appreciate all the reviews that we have got, but We love reading it. We love having our egos stroked. We'll roll over and let you pet our pan hard bar for a good review.
John,
I don't want to sound cheap here, but we'll do pretty much anything for a good review, guys. And we really do like hearing the feedback on things that you would like to have changed. And if you agree with Tim, you need to let us know, because that's one voice, an important voice, but that's one voice, and it may not be everyone's. So if you don't want something removed from the show because one person speaks up, you need to speak up and say you like it or you agree, so that we can reevaluate what we're doing here and maybe come up with something better in the process.
Hey guys, just got a live update status on my Cherokee. Let's see if it'll focus. There it starts to go. Yep, the bracket is officially welded and on the Jeep now. So looks like I will have my Jeep back here this evening. Very excited.
So you have to drive over there and get it, or is it going to be delivered?
Actually, shoot him a text here as we roll into the next segment and figure all that out right now.
Cool. Because I wouldn't plan on taking the Honda. You can't be sure if it's going to be out there or not.
Yeah, right.
I'll come over in the Honda. Oh, can you bring it to me? Alrighty. So anyway, it's been a while since we've had a Jeep tip, and as I was saying in the pre-show, we need to get with Steve 4.3 LXJ and get some more of these, because we all know if you know Steve on xjtalk.com or listening here on the podcast. Steve is really full of it. I'm sorry, full of a lot of good information. Josh, you know what's worse than driving and texting? Being a co-host on a podcast and texting.
Yeah, I know. It's my Jeep. Come on.
You guys couldn't see. He's sitting there looking down. He's not paying attention. I'm telling jokes here, and it's a blank audience. All right. Anyway, this is a Jeep tip. This is Steve talking to us about how to do a cheap front lift, and you might want to dial back a few episodes, probably several, like in the 120s, for the Bastard Pack suggestions that he made in that Jeep tip. And now you can do with the Bastard Packs and these cheap front lifts and have a complete lift for your Cherokee that is really on the cheap. Oh, that's not it. I put that thing in the wrong place. Oh, there it is.
That's what he said?
Yes. You're thinking about Josh's subconscious, aren't you? And now for a disclaimer. Jeep Tips is for entertainment purposes only. If you choose to follow these tips, man up and take the responsibility for your own actions. If you cannot, or you feel that working on your Jeep is beyond your abilities, seek the help or advice of a trained certified mechanic.
Got a tip? We do. It's time for Jeep Tips.
Today I'd like to talk about cheap front end lifts, and we can use some wrecking yard parts to lift the front of our XJs, but we have to kind of be a little bit smarter about it than we did with Bastard Packs. You can get about a 2-inch lift by using V8 Grand Cherokee coils, or V8 ZJ coils. The V8 is a little heavier and the coils have a little higher spring rate, and even though they're the same length, they will lift the front of your Jeep up about 1 3/4 inches if you have a 4-liter. You're going to get a little more lift if you have a 4-cylinder or a V6 because those front ends are lighter. You can sort of fine-tune that by grabbing the isolators, the rubber isolators that are at the top of the spring when you get those coils, and those are good for about a 1/2 inch. So you can stack those with the ones that you have and sort of bring it wherever you want. So if you wanted a real 2-inch lift, you could use your V8 ZJ coils, one more isolator, and that'll give you just slightly over 2 inches to go with, say, a 2-inch shackle or a 2-inch add-a-leaf. You can use stock brake lines for this, your stock track bar, and not have to do anything else. A 2-inch is just a mild lift and no problem. Now, when you want to get a little taller, things change. You can use some 2-inch polyurethane spacers. They're available from several companies, and they're not very expensive. They're about $40, I think, or something like that. And you can add those to your V8 ZJ coils, and you can get about 3.75 inches out of it. So that's a good combination to go with your S10 Bastard Pack, let's say, because it'll be pretty close to even on that. But there are some other things you have to do when you go up that extra 2 inches. First of all, you've got to either relocate your brake lines or get some YJ brake lines and put those in instead, because your stock brake lines are not going to be tall or long enough anymore. So to relocate them, all you have to do is remove the screw. It's a Torx screw, naturally, and take that out. And there's a little bracket there that has a little tab on it that goes into a hole. And that screw that you take out is a self-tapper. So you can straighten that brake line out, take the bend out of it, move it down about 2 inches, drill 2 holes, one for the tab and one for that self-tapping screw, reinsert the self-tapper, or get one with a regular hex head on it, which would be better for you, and just screw it in, and then you have a relocated brake line. Or you can simply go get a YJ brake line if you need new ones anyway, and put those in. Now the track bar, once you get up that high, is going to have a little work done on it. Now you can either buy an aftermarket track bar, or you can relocate the one that you have up to 1 inch. So the first thing that you need to do is determine how much lateral adjustment that you need out of your track bar. So what the thing to do is undo it and take ratchet straps or whatever you need to move the Jeep over so that the axle is centered underneath it. And to figure that out, use a level. Just a regular 2-foot carpenter's level is fine. I've got a contractor's level that I use, and you need to make a measurement on both sides and adjust your ratchet straps and so forth down so that your axle is where you want it. Then what you do is you mark the new location on the axle track bar bracket. And like I say, you can get about up to 1 inch of relocation this way. You want to use a 3/8 drill bit, and don't wobble it or try to hog it out or anything like that. You want a nice tight fit, because if you get movement there, you're going to get death wobble. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So drill a nice tight 3/8 inch hole, then take the track bar and line it up there in the hole so that you can slip the drill bit through the new hole and through the bushing on the track bar to the back side. Then continue drilling a nice tight hole again, and then you'll have your new hole ready. Now I like to use self-locking nuts on the back side of those. Kind of a pain to get the wrench in there and everything, but self-locking nuts are real handy, because that way you don't have to worry about having your track bar bolt come undone and get an oval hole, which you'd have to repair later. So after you've done that and get it all bolted up, you're going to have a front end alignment. No matter how high you go, you're going to want to correct your steering wheel. You can do that in your own shop just by making some measurements on the edge of the tires, and you want to have about 1/8 of an inch of toe in on those tires, so that the front the edges are a little bit narrower than the back, about 1/8 of an inch. Then you can straighten out your steering wheel. Adjustment for that is up by the pitman arm on the steering box, and then you can drive it down to your local alignment shop and get that done upright, and it'll steer nice and straight for you. Now, when you do all of this, there's sort of something you really need to pay attention to here, and that's caster angle. And we run into a lot of death wobble when we start doing these taller lifts, and that's, a 4-inch lift or 3.5-inch lift is not that tall, but it's tall enough that it rotates the axle forward due to the geometry of the suspension links. And when this happens, if you've got anything that's loose up there, such as an egged out track bar mounting, or your frame track bar is loose, or you've got a loose joint in your track bar, or you've got loose tie rod ends, ball joints, whatever, it's going to give you some death wobble. And if you've ever had it, you know exactly what it is. The Jeep starts shaking and it seems like it's just going to fly apart, although it won't. But that's why they call it death wobble, because you think you're going to die. And the only way you can stop it usually is just to slow down to almost a crawl on the side of the road and just let it run itself out. So when you do this lift, this junkyard lift, you've got to make sure that everything's tight on that front end. And I would recommend that after you do this and you go down the road of life, that you save up your pennies and then you get some adjustable lower track bar, or you can get one that's the right length for your lift. But I prefer an adjustable set because at some point you may want to go higher. Everybody does. And if you want to do that, say you want to go up another inch or something like that, you can take your adjustable track bar and lengthen it out to what it needs to be, and then you won't have to buy those parts again. Now, if you do go higher than this, bear in mind that even though you've got your adjustable lower links, you're going to have to get an adjustable track bar that's made for this purpose, because with this lift at 3.75 inches, you've really got to the limit of what you can do with a stock track bar. So if you're going to go any higher, even just a little bit, it's going to cost you some money, and you're going to have to be prepared to start spending more to get that additional height. Now, this is a good lift, as I said, to go with your S10 Bastard Pack, which is about 3.5 inches, so real close. And also remember that you can stack the coil isolators, the stock ones. They're good for about a 1/2 inch a piece, so you can fine-tune your lift height that way. And you're going to want to experiment a little bit with it and get it just right. You probably won't have it exactly the way you want it the first time, and that's just a price that you pay when you use things like Bastard Packs and junkyard parts. You kind of end up doing things more than once, but you do save a lot of money. So if you're prepared to do this and spend the time with your rig, then you can have an inexpensive lift and go out and have a good time wheeling and get over some things that you might not be able to get over before.
Well, we really appreciate that, Steve, and always good information to have. So I thought I'd jump over here real quick and make a comment on our live viewers, Josh. I see that there's some activity, and you've actually been interacting with them.
Yes, I have. In fact, we've got a couple guys saying hi and chatting and all sorts of stuff. We've got friend of the show and future interviewee Dean Murray's making some comments about the live updates that I've been giving about my Cherokee, and he's saying thanks, or he's saying I'm sorry, love the live updates on your Jeep. I told him thanks. Things are happening in real time over here, and he said it looks good. So glad to get the feedback. Thanks, Dean.
So I'll ask the question that Dean really wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
How's that throttle body coming?
And one thing at a time here. One thing at a time.
I know.
Yeah,
I know you appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, bud. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Remember that next time you have the urge to tease me about the onboard air system.
About the airport. Yeah. I deserved that. I had that coming.
Oh, you know what? That's the wrong one. It sounds the same.
Yeah, pretty close. Hey guys, I was just gonna say, man, everybody's got a story to tell, and you know, we're no professionals over here. Obviously. We're just a couple of knuckleheads here with microphones and well, some things we think we know what to push when we're supposed to push it. But no, in all honesty, guys, we'd love to have you on the show, like hearing about your recent wheeling trip, or maybe some carnage that you suffered on your own Jeep. Everybody's got a Jeep story to tell, and we'd like to hear yours. So let's get you on the show. Give us a call on our 24/7 voicemail line of call, 530-675-4102. Let us know if you'd like to be on the show, and, well, we'll get you on.
Hey, man, you can't go wrong with Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, YouTube, the xjtalk.com website, xjtalkshow.com website, wranglertalk.com. Gee, what am I missing? We're even on that thing you kids are using with the pictures. I'm pulling a blank. I guess indirectly Instagram, but there's another one. What's that other one that has all the naked women on it?
Craigslist?
No.
I have no idea.
Tumblr.
You won't find us on Chat Roulette either, guys. But nonetheless, we encourage you guys to check out the websites and make sure you're telling a friend about the show. That's how you spread the word. It's how you guys can support us the best way possible. We appreciate all the Amazon support and everything, but really, turn somebody onto the show, get them to start downloading some episodes. We'd love the support. Thank you.
Hey, did you mention the Hidden Wounds XJ?
I didn't mention the Hidden Wounds XJ, but you guys got to go check them out on Facebook as well. Go to hiddenwoundsxj.com for the updates on the build. And guys, they need your support. Hidden Wounds XJ, they got an XJ that they're building up. It's really for a great cause. Buy some stickers, get some t-shirts, help them out. Let's get that build going.
So I was going to mention the t-shirts. I got an email today because we bought a t-shirt, the XJ, one of those Hidden Wounds XJ t-shirts, red, of course, excellent choice.
Oh,
and they got enough orders that the t-shirts are going to ship. You know, where you have to sell like 20. You got to get people like 20 people to purchase before they'll actually print. Well, I got an email saying they're going to print, and the $23 was deducted from my account. So should be seeing a t-shirt here pretty soon.
Very good. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Have a great Jeep week. So I am going to unmute the telephone, the conference call thing, the call-in lines, whatever you want to call it, in case anybody that was too shy or maybe didn't make it here in time to call in for the show. You can call in now and get in the post show. So I've unmuted that. I'm going to unmute the feed there on the board. So now all you have to do is call in and talk. Oh, yeah, you probably want that number again. You know, I hate it when I scroll on this software. All the little avatars go away, so I have to kind of guess what I'm clicking on.
Well, I got it here right in front of me, Tony, so I'll go ahead and give that number out. It's area code 267-507-0240. That's the number you need to dial in to get to the XJ Talk Show, but you need a code to actually hook up directly to us, and that code is 219-835. So again, those numbers, area code 267-507-0240, and the special code 219-835.
Did you see what Dean says there in the comments? Thanks, Tony. Cough, cough. So how's that throttle body coming? Yep. Good times. Yeah, you don't have to call in. You don't want to. We don't care. We're not worried about it. We won't feel less loved if you don't call in. Anybody that's watching the show live. Now we're just doing a little post show here. Josh goes and turns on his creative juices, and I hope you put a pad down first, and then comes up with what what we're going to say in the promo. Oh, we didn't talk about the Tony and Josh show.
We didn't, but I've seen that you've been very gratuitous with the posting of the promo for the Tony and Josh show.
Oh, man, hell yeah, man. That's a wonderful promo. I'm looking for it. I got to play that right now. Oh, check this out. Are you hearing anything over there?
Yeah.
Damn, that's loud. Actually, it should probably be more like this. Oh, wow, that thing just disconnected him again. That's so strange. That happened, he got disconnected while we were playing the interview, I'm sorry, the podcast recording, pre-recorded thing with Steve. And this thing never happens to us. That is really strange.
It just got on me again.
Yeah.
I got the connection error, and we're trying to get the call back sort of thing, and it drops audio, it drops video, it drops the call altogether. And yeah, now I'm stuck without video again.
Yeah, if you want to call back, I'll accept the call this time. I told him to call back while the Steve's things was playing, and then I said BRB because I was going to go get some more coffee, not realizing I needed to be here to answer the call.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some coffee. Just reconnect. You know, and he's sitting there going, oh no. I guess you figured it out though that I said BRB, and that's why I wasn't answering.
Yeah, no, I didn't know how soon you were taking off. And see, now my video is it's again
closer.
So there it goes. Yeah, weird. I gotta love Skype.
It might be your connection over there. Is there any bad weather or anything going on?
We did have a thunderstorm roll through earlier today, but when I came into the studio, things were not too bad. So I don't know. There's a chance that somebody might be, downloading something, playing a video game, watching something. I don't know. I tell people in the house, look, don't turn anything on. I mean, you can watch TV or whatever. Just no stuff on demand, no streaming, no downloading, none of that. So
nothing fun.
Yeah, right. When I'm in the studio, you guys are not allowed to have any fun.
That's the rule around here. And pretty soon it's going to be 2 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
So what we were talking about prior was the Tony and Josh show coming back finally. I think the only person that was missing it was Nikki G, but he was very vocal. So
yeah, I made him a little vocal, didn't I?
Oh yeah, it was great. I sent him a text message, told him to listen to this, and I never did hear anything back from him. I wonder if he heard it.
I thought for sure by now, especially now that promo is everywhere, that I would have gotten a message from him by now or so. Maybe he doesn't know that it's him.
Oh, well, maybe not, but I would think for sure.
Especially, we know he listens to the show, so we know that because everybody has that thing where, oh, I sound like that. When you hear your own voice.
Yeah, you got to get used to it.
For you, it's not something that people are normally used to. And so, that's why I was thinking, okay, maybe he just didn't know that it was his voice, but, he's got to have heard all the voicemails that he's left, so he's got to know the tone of it by now, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure he's heard himself a lot, unless he fast forwards over that. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. I've been going to the XG Talk Show for so much, I haven't looked in the Tony and Josh section. So, show promos.
Some memory there, yeah.
And I haven't listened to the alternative versions yet.
Well, it's just the one mastered is the one that I've got right now, and so I'll tweak it and create some other ones. But the one that you've been promoting or that you've been putting up everywhere is one that maybe I don't know if you've heard it yet or not, but I did add some more samples and clips at the end of it, towards the end of it, anyways.
I'm your number one fan.
Because I think we're going to have a lot to say about it.
I don't like it.
Options on it.
Probably makes you want to have a beer.
Not buying it.
Options on it. Tony and Josh show.
Obviously, they're setting up for something epic.
This summer, they are coming.
You know, they don't care. They don't care if people get hurt.
They are better than ever.
I'm going to really go off on a very odd tangent here right now.
Be prepared.
How dare you?
Seriously.
Everything is about to change.
You know, just go away.
Tony and Josh. Tony and Josh. The Tony and Josh Show. The Tony and Josh Show.
This summer.
Okay, and I just realized I have the video that I can put up on here. So let me run the video one.
I'm your number one fan.
Oh God, that's loud.
Because I think we're going to have a lot to say about it.
I don't like it.
On it.
Probably makes you want to have a beer.
Not buying it.
On it. Tony and Josh Show.
Obviously, they're setting up for something epic.
They're here.
This summer, they are coming.
You know, they don't care. They don't care if people get hurt.
They are better than ever.
I'm going to really go off on a very odd tangent here right now.
Be prepared.
How dare you?
Seriously.
Everything is about to change.
You know, just go away.
Tony and Josh. Tony and Josh. The Tony and Josh Show. The Tony and Josh Show.
This summer.
So the Tony and Josh Show, if you've listened to it in the past, you also know that as the Bitch and Wine Show. I'm Bitch.
And I'm with a side of cheese.
So, but we have a lot of fun over there, and we hope you guys will join us. We don't have near the number of episodes that we do here on the XJ Talk Show, but we're going to change that. That's going to be Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. And Josh, we did decide that it was going to be 30 minutes, right?
Yes. Yeah. 30. It's going to be a 30-minute show, at least for now. We'll see how that goes. Kind of switching the format up a little bit from what we've done in the past, but I think we should be able to make that happen. We will be adding some production value and stuff, kind of like what we've done here with the XJ Talk Show. So I'm looking forward to it. We had a lot of fun in its inception and watching it kind of grow and progress and evolve. And I think with the last 6-8 months or so of hiatus that Tony and I have definitely added a couple of notches to the headboard, so to speak, and we're going to be coming out of the box stronger and better than ever before.
Yeah, we've learned a lot from the production value side of things, and also too, I think we've learned that we need to keep things a little shorter. As I was telling Josh, the real popular segments, if you keep them short, people may miss it, which is good because they'll look forward to it the next time. They won't get enough of it. And those that don't like the segment will go, oh, God, I'm glad that's over. Let's see what else they got. And then hopefully another segment will appeal to them. So I'm kind of starting to learn why things move so fast in the real world, the real commercial world is, they do that so they can please as many people as they can, which honestly kind of grates against my the way I kind of am. I'm kind of like a you don't like it, screw you kind of guy. But that's not my public policy. So anyway, if you guys want to call in, you can. If you don't worry about it. Sometimes I know it's a little nerve-wracking to actually join in on a live show.
xjtalk.com.
Oh, God. See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't. I don't have the little avatars. Where did that thing go? I wanted to put the thing back up, the ticker bar. I know that you may not want to join in on a live show, but you still like to get in and talk to us. And we'll be doing some of that on the XJ Talk. I'm sorry, the Tony and Josh show as well. With the 30-minute type time frame, we probably won't have much time to take calls. But if that turns into a real thing, we can expand the show or maybe have special shows where we do have call-ins. And the nice thing about the Tony and Josh show is that it's anything that we want to talk about, or any kind of grouping of things we want to talk about, paranormal or The Walking Dead, all those type things are available on the Tony and Josh show. So I think there'll be a lot more there for a wider audience, and at least I'm hoping that it will be. 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 I'm hoping that it will
Sorry, Tony. I'm in focus mode right here with getting that script all buttoned up.
No problem. So I thought the recording of the audio and video last week on Wednesday and then playback on Thursday went rather well. I was real happy with the quality of both the audio and the video, and
good.
It was very easy to play that back for the live show.
Was there a lot of babysitting involved and having to make sure that everything kind of stayed going, or was it pretty much autopilot the whole way?
Oh, autopilot. Just put it on and play. Yeah. So if there was a situation that I found out about yesterday where I was asked to stay late at work, and it was probably all the work was going to be done by 10 o'clock tonight. And as my boss was explaining it to me, I looked at, I'm all for it. I'm an IT professional, and that's what you got to do. And he said, come in late. So that's also nice. You just sleep late and roll in later in the day, probably close to noon for as late as that was, and stick around and don't have all the headaches of anybody asking you for help or questions about things. So it works out well. And then I looked at the date, and I went, oh, gee, today's Wednesday. So he's talking about me staying here till potentially 10 or later on Thursday. And I didn't even really have an option of informing you that we need to reschedule the show. And he continued talking. He says, somebody needs to be here early in the morning too. And in fact, if you'd rather be here in the morning. And I said, well, coming late is kind of more conducive to how I am. I'm a late night person, but I've got that podcast to do tomorrow at 10, and I don't think I'll make it at home in time to, get it on the air. And he goes, oh, I forgot about your podcast. He goes, well, you come in early. So that's what I did. I went and got there at 7 this morning and got off early. And I thought that was a great thing. They're actually installing a generator at work. That's the reason for all this stuff.
I was going to say, I bet that getting off early was real nice.
Yeah, I got my nap in early.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah, got here, made it home by 4:45 and goofed around a little bit and laid down. I wasn't really sleepy, but I knew I'd be really tired later because I'd be dead on my feet or on my ass, as the case may be, by now. So if you guys ever see me looking up like this, I am looking at the fourth monitor that I installed specifically for the show because I was running out of screen space. I was having to drag things around, which was causing that nasty half-second delay as I was trying to find something on the screens. I've got 3 screens here on the bottom row, and then just one screen up at top. I don't know. You guys probably say, "Oh, we'll get 2 more and have 6," like they do in the movies. I wouldn't mind, but I really don't have any purpose of having that many monitors. This 4 is plenty. I mean, these are almost 24-inch monitor, widescreen monitors. And the nice thing is that with the I have a 32-inch LCD TV up on the wall in the corner of my home office, and without a monitor over here, see if you can see my hand. Without a monitor over here, I'm actually able to see that television. So it's almost like having another monitor there. It's about the same size, even though it's about 10 feet away because it's a 32-inch. Anyway, that makes it real handy. I do have a TV tuner on this PC that I can watch on screen, but it's really handy having a dedicated television to watch and listen to, and turn off as needed. Get your nerd on.
Yeah, I need to do that. Get a couple more monitors in here and retire this laptop.
Oh, I was thinking about this the other day. We were having some problems with choppy audio, I believe, when I hooked up the second high definition webcam. And that was on the old computer. So I'm thinking about trying that again on this computer. I need to clean up my desk because it's still kind of trashy. But I like that idea of putting it kind of up and behind me so that I can show kind of a different perspective. like they do on some TV shows. I think I'm remembering this from a local Fox affiliate that does that. Like when the thing's over, they show the control room, and I think even Fox News does that occasionally. They show the control room with all their monitors and stuff, and just kind of a shot from up and behind might be kind of fun to switch to every so often. So I'll have to try that and see if that messes up the audio. I bet you it won't now that I've got a faster box.
Now that you have a supercomputer. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if they had one of these things for going to the moon instead of something less efficient than a calculator?
Are you kidding me?
I tell you what, you got to have some balls to fly to the moon on a calculator.
Yeah, really. Okay, so script is done and up. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and kind of begin on that.
So I guess we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Always love the participation. Love you guys being here for the live show. A quick shout out to a few of our audience members. 4-liter Jeeper, Dean Murray, we've already mentioned. Let's see that we got a Josh in there, Josh B. And yeah, Josh, I know it's you. Well, that's it. That's all that decided to talk tonight. Wow, I guess that's why we didn't get any call-ins. They didn't even want to chat on the in the comments, and that's not much pressure.
No, not at all. No worries.
Yep, but it's there. Oh, and the plan is, in case you're new to the show,
muted.
In case you're new to the show, the plan is to have the call-in line available pre-show, during the show, and post-show. The only time we might not have that is at least during the ability to take calls during the show is if we have a really tight show where we have so much jam-packed in there we just don't have the time to take calls. But most of the time we do. I mean, we can always cut back on chit-chat. Real quick, did you get any kind of audio for the chit-chat background noise, the ambiance?
No, I didn't because my Jeep's been
I thought you went. I thought that on that trip that you took the...
Yeah, and then that was the trip I lost my camera. And
okay. So you haven't been since we talked. Okay. Yeah, I'd really like to play that. I was mentioning that to Josh's subconscious today in chat, which you don't remember because it was a subconscious, and about the sounds, the background sounds that we want to play during the chit chat section. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Sweet.
I started to play the one that we have already, but I want to get the whole thing in there with the driving up type thing. All right, guys, we're going to finish up here and call it a night. And I really appreciate you being there. Join us next week, Thursday, 10 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. I wonder if they could still sue you over that copyright violation. That was 60 years ago?
Just about, yeah.
We should get Adam.
Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. See you next week.
We should get Adam West on the show.
Oh, that'd be great. Good get.